why there's such an otherworldly love with narcissists. In this video, we'll talk about love with a narcissist and why the victim falls for their hook and considers this love unlike any other. So victims of narcissists believe that narcissists are capable of giving some incredible love. They feel that this is truly how it happens. What does a narcissist do? At the very beginning, he gives his victim the feeling she has dreamed of, because narcissists are skilled at reading personalities and understanding who is in front of them, what type of woman she is. He starts to mirror her, providing everything she has ever wanted and desired. And at that moment, women often catch themselves thinking, this is it. This is the one. This is the dream of my life. This is the person who should be by my side. This is my person. Finally, I am lucky. But the narcissist is not interested in any of this. They need polar emotions. And that is why the secret of narcissistic love lies in the need to first make the victim fall in love, then to deeply wound devalue and inflict some internal pain, disappointment, and resentment. Any emotions that make them feel trampled so that their stress levels skyrocket, making the victim feel as if the ground is disappearing beneath their feet. In other words, everything is bad, everything is falling apart. And at that very moment, he gives her a little love, and she feels that she is emotionally on the edge. He returns what he gave at the beginning, and she feels uplifted again. She feels once more that this is love. This is happiness. And at that moment, she feels incredibly happy for one simple reason, because the man, the narcissist, is engaging in such emotional swings. After all, it is actually very easy to manipulate a person when you create those emotional swings for them. Have you ever noticed that when you are really nervous, for example, in college during a tough session or a difficult exam that you realize you might not be fully prepared for, you experience a lot of stress, but then you go out and take the exam, and for instance, you do well. At that moment, the stress fades away, but if someone asks you for something at that moment, like your classmates asking for something, while you are in a state of happiness because you just received something, you will be more agreeable. In other words, if in your normal state you would refuse to do something for someone, now you will be very accommodating. In other words, you agree to help someone and do something for them, because in a state of emotional swings, where there was fear and pain, and then suddenly everything is good, the person becomes very easily manipulable. The narcissist actually takes great advantage of this. They need to control their victim because a narcissist is incapable of strong feelings. However, they derive immense pleasure from this game as they project their possible childhood traumas and internal issues onto others. In fact, the humiliated victim, after experiencing cortisol and adrenaline produced during moments of stress, meaning she was immersed in this cortisol and was in this adrenaline, then he gives her a little serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin. So she receives some wonderful feelings, wonderful hormones, and she thinks in reality, she just thinks that these are very intense feelings, incomparable to anything else, because in her life, for example, there were men who were, let's say, even-tempered in their behavior. When he might have been doing the same thing, but didn't push her down to the very bottom, she didn't experience those feelings in the same way. But when the narcissist brings her down to the very bottom end and lifts her up just a little, it feels like a whirlwind of emotions to her. She thinks that nothing like this has ever happened to her, simply because there is a very strong internal imbalance occurring right now. And in fact, such love with a narcissist is akin to a kind of intoxication. That is, a person no longer understands what is happening to them, does not realize what kind of relationship they have entered into and gotten stuck in. Why does a female victim often end up in such relationships? Who falls into them? It is actually women who do not know how to relieve stress on their own. And they often find themselves in such relationships, meaning they get stuck in their own sacrificial nature. Narcissist actually shocks the victim with stress hormones. And this intoxicating love is just a deception for the victim themselves. Over time, the narcissist loses interest in their victim, but he is no longer interested in playing all of this out with her. And she herself feels that he is distancing himself. But she is once again in that same stress and waits for the moment when once again, she already knows about this cyclicality somewhere at a subconscious level. Even if she hasn't analyzed it, she knows that things should get better. And at that moment, even when she thinks that things will get better, she feels a sense of relief, as if it becomes easier for her. How can one get rid of this dependency on the narcissist here? Indeed, in fact, is a simple way. It is necessary to learn to release stress independently. That is, the victim is in a state of stress, and they start to think and remember what the narcissist did to them, how he behaved, And this stress accumulates, and we need to find a way to release these emotions. She needs to learn to manage her stress on her own. Animals, when they encounter a predator, and even if everything turns out to be not so scary, meaning they scatter in different directions, eventually experience a tremor. He may tremble, and his fur may stand on end. This is a protective reaction of the body. This is how an animal sheds stress. So, you need to learn to manage your stress on your own, so you won't fall for the traps of narcissists. That's all I have for this video. This was Alice Vardomska. I hope for your likes and subscriptions. Please write in the comments what you would like to discuss in my new videos. Don't forget to hit the bell icon, and goodbye everyone.